Hi, this is Heather Jerome from heatherjerome.com and from the sonatasinpartitas.com. This video is about the Sarabande in B minor from the second partita, BWV 1002. It's the first of a two-part video, and in this part we're just going to look at the historical context and a little bit about the Sarabandes in general. So I'd like to start with a little bit of history. In his book, Peter Croton has a bit of a history of the Sarabande. He says the Sarabande had a fascinating and scandalous career, that it originated in Spain. It was a highly rhythmic, lively, erotic dance, and was accompanied by the castanets. It actually was banned by King Philip II of Spain for obscenity, and then following the trail, we see that it shows up in the Italian guitar tablatures, and then eventually it made its way into the court of King Louis XIV. And there's another excerpt from Dance of the Music of J.S. Bach by Meredith Little and Nathalie Jeanne. This is from Pomme's French and Latin Dictionary, published in 1671. Now this is actually a fairly long excerpt. I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs from it. But if you can get a hold of the book and read the whole thing, it's on pages 93 and 94. I highly recommend it. So they say, sometimes he would glide imperceptibly with no apparent movement of his feet and legs and seem to slide rather than to step. Sometimes, with the most beautiful timing in the world, he would remain suspended, immobile, and half leaning to the side with one foot in the air, and then, compensating for the rhythmic unit that had gone by, with another more precipitous unit, would almost fly, so rapid was his motion. And so here, I just think this paragraph is really important because what they're describing is tempo rubato. And tempo rubato was not something that was invented in the Romantic period. I think that was a carryover from the Baroque and the Classical period, where, especially in the Baroque, the aim of performance was to stir your listeners' passions. So in another paragraph, he says, Sometimes, for the pleasure of everyone present, he would turn to the right, and sometimes he would turn to the left, and when he reached the middle of the empty floor, he would pirouette so quickly that the eye could not follow. This, although carefully planned, seemed to be done spontaneously, so well had he cloaked his art in skillful nonchalance. So this paragraph, I think, is really important because not only is it really vividly described, but also there's a couple of things in it. First of all, that this had looked like it was done spontaneously. It looks like he's making it up on the spot, even though obviously it was a choreographed dance. And so well had he cloaked his art in skillful nonchalance. This aspect, skillful nonchalance, is something that people were very aware of it in the Baroque time, and it was something that performers really strove for. You can think of it as, even now, if we see something great, we can be amazed by it. And, if the performer is this like great dazzling virtuoso and I'm so good at what I do, that's one thing. But if we watch somebody just toss something off like as if there's nothing to it, that's what we find like really irresistible. And they were very, very aware of that back then. And in fact, in Peter Croton's book, he has a whole chapter on it called the Tazzo of Spezzatura, the Tao of Spezzatura. Anyway, there's one more paragraph in this dictionary definition where they say, now and then he would express anger and spite with an impetuous and turbulent rhythmic unit, and then, evoking a sweeter passion by more moderate motions, he would sigh, swoon, let his eyes wander languidly, and certain sinuous movements of the arm and body, nonchalant, that word again, disjointed and passionate, made him appear so admirable and so charming that throughout this enchanting dance he won as many hearts as he attracted spectators. So one thing that I find really amazing and important about this whole excerpt is that it was taken out of a dictionary. I mean, nowadays, a dictionary definition is not subjective like that. They're not so poetic. What we expect when we open a dictionary is to see a definition. and even looking at documents back then that were written by theorists, their language was always really passionate, emotional, and really compelling. Now, if I open my Oxford Dictionary of Music, my little pocket one, and look up Sarabande, it's probably going to say that it's a dance in three, a slow dance in three, with an accent on the second beat. And that's true, pretty much. It's actually so concise that it's missing some very valuable information, because that's not all sarabandes are the same. In fact, this one in particular is a French sarabande, and I think it was probably one of the most common ones. But the way that the rhythmic unit works in that is in 2-bar segments, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1. And so that's different than just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That accentuation does not work with this, or with most of the other French sarabandes that I've played or listened to. So another quick thing that I would like to suggest in this video is to have a look on YouTube and watch some people dancing the sarabande. And if you want, even put a damper on your guitar or put a capo on and see if you can match the key and try to play along with them. Because when I did that, what I found first of all was that I had to play it faster than I had ever heard other people playing this piece. And also the eighth notes just really wanted to be in inégale dotted rhythm. In the Baroque, they talk about the sarabandes as being similar to the courantes, but faster. They say a courante is more serious, a sarabande is more graceful. So I hope you found this helpful. As always, let us know what you think at sonatasandpartitas.com. If you want to see part 2 of the video, you could subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. We do try to put out a video every couple of weeks. And as always, let us know what you think at sonatasandpartitas.com.